Hello, friends. If you're curious about the movie Predator 2, released on November 21, 1990, you're in the perfect place. Don't forget to give this video a quick like, it really helps us out. And if you're new here, hit subscribe to stay updated on all the latest movie deep dives. Let's jump right in. In the smoldering heat of a chaotic Los Angeles, where gang wars rage in the streets and the police force battles to maintain control, a new, unrelenting hunter arrives, not bound by law, morality, or reason. Predator 2, the sequel to the groundbreaking Predator, 1987, takes the tension, the brutality, and the thrill of the original and cranks it up to 11. Released on November 21, 1990, this sci-fi action thriller didn't just expand the franchise. It deepened the lore of one of cinema's most iconic extraterrestrial hunters. A bold new setting, a fierce new challenge where the first film confined its story to the jungles of Central America, Predator 2 boldly shifts the action to a dense urban jungle, transforming Los Angeles into a war zone. The move is not just geographical but symbolic, a commentary on the violence that permeates human civilization. Directed by Hopkins and starring Danny Glover, Gary Busey, and Maria Conchita Alonso, the film stands as a unique entry in the franchise, balancing high-octane action with a grim exploration of humanity's darker side. Set in 1997, 7 years after the events of the first film, Los Angeles is depicted as a city on the edge of collapse. Heat waves scorch the metropolis, tempers flare, and rival gangs, the Jamaican voodoo posse and Colombian drug cartels, turn the streets into battlefields. Enter Lieutenant Mike Harrigan, Danny Glover, a tough, no-nonsense cop navigating this urban chaos. Little does Harrigan know that something far deadlier than gang warfare lurks in the shadows, a predator drawn to the violence like a moth to a flame. Overview of the movie at its core. Predator 2 explores the predator species' fascination with strength, conflict, and worthy adversaries. These hunters, armed with advanced technology and driven by a code of honor, seek out prey that presents a true challenge. Harrigan and his team, including feisty detective Leona Cantrell, Maria Conchita Alonso, and the ambitious Jerry Lambert Bill Paxton, soon find themselves on the Predator's radar, unwitting participants in a deadly game. The film ups the ante with an expanded arsenal for the Predator, from its iconic wrist blades and shoulder-mounted plasma cannon to a new net gun, spear, and disc weapon. These deadly tools are as much a showcase of the Predator's dominance as they are a source of jaw-dropping spectacle. With every encounter, the stakes grow higher, and the mystery surrounding the Predator deepens. An exciting plot summary with key twists and turns. The story opens with a brutal gunfight between the LAPD and a heavily armed Colombian drug gang. Lieutenant Harrigan, defying orders, leads his team into the fray, demonstrating his fearless approach to law enforcement. But as the battle rages, an unseen force intervenes, slaughtering the gang with ruthless efficiency. Harrigan and his team arrive to find the aftermath, a bloodbath unlike anything they've ever seen. The evidence points to something far beyond human comprehension. As the team investigates, the Predator begins targeting members of the Jamaican gang, showcasing its terrifying hunting prowess in a sequence set in a penthouse filled with eerie rituals and symbols. Each kill is methodical, brutal, and strangely ritualistic, leaving Harrigan both horrified and intrigued. The mystery deepens when federal agents, led by the enigmatic Peter Keyes, Gary Busey, take over the case, clearly hiding something. Harrigan's instincts tell him there's more to the killings than gang violence, and his relentless pursuit of the truth puts him squarely in the Predator's crosshairs. The Predator's interest in Harrigan grows as the cop repeatedly demonstrates courage and cunning, qualities the hunter respects. Meanwhile, Keyes reveals that his team has been tracking the Predator for years, attempting to capture it alive to study its advanced technology. This revelation sets the stage for a climactic showdown in a meatpacking facility, where Harrigan must face not only the Predator but also Keyes' secretive agenda. The second half of the film is a roller coaster of tension and action. Harrigan confronts the Predator in a deadly game of cat and mouse, leading to a heart-stopping rooftop battle. Just when it seems the Predator has the upper hand, Harrigan turns the tables in a final, desperate act of ingenuity. But the real twist comes when Harrigan discovers a hidden Predator spaceship beneath the city, complete with trophies from past hunts, including a xenomorph skull, a tantalizing tease for fans of the Alien franchise. Inside the ship, Harrigan faces one last challenge. A group of predators emerges, surrounding him. Instead of attacking, they acknowledge his victory over their comrade, a gesture of respect that hints at the predator species' complex moral code. One of them even gifts Harrigan an antique flintlock pistol, a token that raises tantalizing questions about their long history of hunting on Earth. Teasing the major twists and themes, Predator 2 is a film that thrives on contrasts: the primal against the technological, chaos against order, human resilience against extraterrestrial supremacy. The move from the jungle to the city isn't just a change of scenery. It's a reflection of the predator's adaptability and the universality of its hunt. The movie poses intriguing questions about humanity's own violent tendencies, suggesting that the predator isn't so different from us after all. One of the film's key twists lies in its exploration of the predator's code of honor. Unlike most antagonists, the predator isn't inherently evil. It respects strength and bravery, targeting those it deems worthy opponents. This nuanced portrayal elevates the story, transforming the predator from a mere monster into a character with its own motivations and ethics. The climax aboard the Predator ship is not only a thrilling payoff but also a doorway to endless possibilities, teasing a broader mythology that would inspire future films, comics, and games. It's a moment that leaves audiences both satisfied and hungry for more, a perfect encapsulation of what makes Predator 2 a standout sequel. With its relentless pacing, innovative setting, and deeper exploration of its iconic antagonist, Predator 2 builds on the legacy of the original while carving out its own identity. It's a film that dares to take risks, pushing the franchise into new territory and delivering a cinematic experience that is as thrilling as it is thought-provoking. Whether you're a die-hard fan or a newcomer to the series, this urban jungle hunt is one you won't want to miss. Los Angeles in 1997 is a city gripped by tension. The relentless heat wave suffocates the streets, amplifying the chaos of raging gang wars. The LAPD is stretched thin, battling heavily armed factions that have transformed the city into a battleground. Among the chaos, a shadow lurks, something deadly, cunning, and entirely unseen. Lieutenant Mike Harrigan is in the thick of it, leading his team through a brutal standoff with a Colombian drug cartel. The gangsters, fortified with high-powered weaponry, engage the police in a deadly game of cat and mouse. Harrigan's instincts and fearless leadership push his team forward, saving civilians and neutralizing threats, but the violence takes an eerie turn. The cartel members fall, not from police bullets, but from an unknown, savage force. When Harrigan and his team arrive at the scene, the carnage defies explanation. Bodies are mutilated in ways no human weapon could achieve. The signs point to something otherworldly. There's no traditional evidence, only disturbing remnants, bodies skinned with surgical precision and an ominous absence of identifiable weaponry. Harrigan is no stranger to violence, but this feels different, calculated, almost ritualistic. With his team by his side, Harrigan dives headfirst into the mystery, unaware of the escalating danger. Harrigan's team includes loyal Danny Archuleta, fierce and quick-witted Leona Cantrell, and the eager yet brash newcomer, Jerry Lambert. Together, they navigate the increasingly strange and deadly case. The city's gang wars escalate as a second faction, the Jamaican Voodoo Posse, becomes embroiled in the chaos. But even these hardened criminals fall victim to the same invisible predator, their leader, King Willie, meeting a gruesome fate. His decapitated head is displayed as a trophy, deepening the mystery and the stakes. Amid this turmoil, Harrigan encounters Peter Keyes, a federal agent with a suspicious interest in the case. Keyes claims jurisdiction, asserting that the killings are tied to the drug war, but his evasive answers and secretive demeanor suggest otherwise. Keyes's team, operating in the shadows, raises more questions than answers. Harrigan grows increasingly distrustful, suspecting that Keyes knows far more about the true nature of the killer than he admits. As the body count rises, so does the predator's confidence. The alien hunter thrives on conflict and chaos, targeting individuals it deems worthy adversaries. Its advanced technology, cloaking devices, thermal vision, and a lethal array of weapons, renders it nearly unstoppable. For the predator, Los Angeles is not just a hunting ground, it's a proving ground. When Danny, Harrigan's trusted partner, is killed during a solo investigation, the stakes become deeply personal. Danny's death shakes Harrigan and his team to their core, intensifying their resolve to uncover the truth. The predator's attack leaves behind chilling evidence, confirming Harrigan's fears that they are dealing with something far beyond human comprehension. Harrigan, defying orders to stand down, delves deeper into the case, piecing together a pattern that others refuse to see. His dogged determination clashes with Keyes' secretive methods, creating a volatile dynamic. The predator watches from the shadows, observing Harrigan with a mix of curiosity and respect. To the alien, Harrigan is more than just prey, he's a challenge. The city's oppressive heat mirrors the tension simmering between Harrigan and his team. As they inch closer to the truth, the predator grows bolder, its attacks more brazen and its methods more terrifying. Each encounter reveals new layers of the alien's capabilities and its disturbing sense of honor. It kills with purpose, sparing the unarmed and defenseless while reserving its wrath for those it deems worthy opponents. Harrigan's pursuit of the predator becomes an obsession, fueled by a mix of anger, grief, and a relentless drive to protect his city. His team, though shaken, rallies behind him, determined to confront the unknown threat. The predator, however, is always one step ahead, its technology and cunning outmatching even Harrigan's sharp instincts. As the story builds to its midpoint, the tension is palpable. The predator's motives remain a mystery, its next move unpredictable. Harrigan and his team are outmatched, yet they press on, determined to face the threat head-on. The stage is set for an explosive confrontation, with the fate of the city, and their lives, hanging in the balance. As the tension in the city reaches a fever pitch, Lieutenant Mike Harrigan becomes increasingly consumed by the hunt for the elusive predator. Every step he takes reveals more of the predator's terrifying capabilities and its bloodthirsty agenda. The streets are no longer just battlegrounds for gang violence and crime. They have become a hunting ground for a being far more dangerous and cunning. Harrigan, driven by his determination to protect his city and avenge his fallen comrades, finds himself drawn deeper into the predator's deadly game. One fateful night, Harrigan follows a lead that takes him to a penthouse belonging to a powerful drug lord. The scene inside is nothing short of horrific. Walls splattered with blood, bodies torn apart, and a palpable sense of dread hanging in the air. It's clear that the predator has been here, but this time, it's different. The methodical slaughter isn't just about collecting trophies. It feels personal, almost as if the predator is leaving a message for Harrigan. The grotesque display ignites a fury within him, and he vows to end the creature's reign of terror once and for all. Harrigan's investigation takes him to a hidden lab where government agents, led by the enigmatic Peter Keyes, have been tracking the predator. Keyes' team is armed with state-of-the-art technology and a trove of information about the alien. They reveal shocking details about the predator's modus operandi, its advanced weaponry, and its chilling code of honor. It hunts only those it deems worthy adversaries. But what alarms Harrigan the most is their plan to capture the predator alive, putting the lives of countless civilians at risk. Harrigan's mistrust of Keyes deepens, and he realizes that he can't rely on anyone but himself to stop the predator. As the predator's attacks grow bolder, Harrigan notices a pattern in its behavior. It's deliberately targeting key figures in the city, leaders of gangs, influential criminals, and now law enforcement. Each kill is meticulously planned, almost as if the predator is orchestrating a macabre chess game. Harrigan's team, though valiant, is no match for the predator's lethal arsenal. One by one, they fall, their bravery overshadowed by the creature's relentless efficiency. The loss of his comrades only fuels Harrigan's determination, and he becomes more resolute than ever to bring the predator down. The final showdown begins when Harrigan discovers the predator's lair, hidden beneath the city. The setting is otherworldly, a labyrinth of tunnels adorned with trophies from countless hunts. Skulls and spines from creatures across the galaxy line the walls, a chilling testament to the predator's legacy as a supreme hunter. Harrigan's presence doesn't go unnoticed. The predator, sensing a worthy opponent, emerges from the shadows. Its towering frame and menacing mandibles are a terrifying sight, but Harrigan doesn't waver. Armed with a combination of courage, wit, and a few well-chosen weapons, he prepares for the fight of his life. The battle is brutal and relentless. Harrigan's resourcefulness is put to the ultimate test as he uses the environment to his advantage, setting traps and exploiting the predator's few vulnerabilities. The creature's advanced technology and raw strength make it a formidable foe, but Harrigan's sheer willpower keeps him in the fight. Each blow exchanged is a clash of survival instincts, human ingenuity versus alien prowess. The tide turns when Harrigan manages to disable the predator's cloaking device, forcing it to confront him head-on. In a desperate move, Harrigan lands a decisive strike, wounding the predator. But the victory is short-lived. As the predator lies defeated, a group of its kin suddenly appears, emerging from the shadows. They've been watching the battle, assessing Harrigan's worthiness. To his surprise, they don't attack. Instead, they acknowledge his bravery, presenting him with an ancient flintlock pistol as a token of respect. It's a gesture that speaks volumes about their complex code of honor, a moment that blurs the line between hunter and prey. As the predator's ship departs, Harrigan emerges from the lair, battered but victorious. The cityscape looms in the background, a stark reminder of the chaos that unfolded. Though the predator is gone, its presence lingers, leaving Harrigan with a newfound understanding of the fragile balance between humanity and the unknown. The experience has changed him, sharpening his resolve to protect his city from threats, no matter how extraordinary. The film concludes with Harrigan standing amidst the rubble, a lone figure against the sprawling metropolis. The predator may have been defeated, but the question lingers. Was this the end, or merely the beginning of humanity's encounter with these enigmatic hunters? The ominous tone leaves audiences with a sense of awe and anticipation, ensuring that Predator 2 remains etched in their memories long after the credits roll. The world of Predator 2 introduces a cast of characters as diverse and dynamic as the chaotic cityscape of Los Angeles itself. Each character contributes not only to the progression of the plot but also to the broader themes of survival, morality, and resilience against an unstoppable force. At the center of this turbulent narrative is Lieutenant Mike Harrigan, a man who is neither superhuman nor infallible, but who rises to the occasion with courage and determination. His journey, along with the intricate interplay of supporting characters, creates a deeply human counterpoint to the alien menace they face. Mike Harrigan, brought to life by Danny Glover, is the beating heart of Predator 2. Unlike the larger-than-life Dutch from the original film, Harrigan is relatable, a gritty, determined detective trying to maintain order in a city descending into chaos. Glover's portrayal lends a grounded realism to Harrigan, emphasizing not just his physical strength but also his mental fortitude. From the moment he is introduced, Harrigan commands attention as a leader who prioritizes his team and his city above all else. His relentless drive to protect those around him sets him apart as a hero, even as his temper and disregard for protocol often put him at odds with his superiors. Harrigan's character is shaped by the environment he operates in, a Los Angeles torn apart by gang violence and a drug war that seems unstoppable. These external pressures highlight his resilience and ingenuity, traits that become even more critical as the Predator enters the fray. Initially, Harrigan views the Predator's brutal killings as just another complication in his city's long list of issues. However, as he begins to unravel the mystery of this unseen hunter, his perspective shifts. What starts as an investigation quickly becomes a deeply personal mission to confront and stop the Predator. Throughout the film, Harrigan's evolution as a character is evident. He transitions from a reactive, instinct-driven detective to a strategic and calculated warrior. His ability to adapt is perhaps his most defining trait, as he faces an enemy that outmatches him in strength, technology, and sheer ruthlessness. The final confrontation between Harrigan and the Predator serves as the culmination of his growth, a battle that underscores not only his physical endurance but also his cleverness and resourcefulness. Harrigan's victory is not just a triumph over the Predator, but a testament to the resilience of the human spirit when pushed to its limits. Supporting Harrigan is a team of detectives who each bring their own unique personalities and strengths to the table. Detective Danny Archuleta, played by Ruben Blades, is more than just Harrigan's partner. He is a loyal friend and trusted confidant. Danny's warmth and steady presence provide a counterbalance to Harrigan's fiery temperament. Together, they make an effective team, their camaraderie evident in every interaction. Danny's untimely death at the hands of the Predator is a gut-wrenching moment, serving as a turning point for Harrigan. What was initially a professional investigation transforms into a personal vendetta, driving Harrigan to seek justice not just for his city but for his fallen friend. Detective Leona Cantrell, portrayed by Maria Conchita Alonso, stands out as a strong, determined member of the team. Leona's no-nonsense attitude and unwavering dedication make her a formidable presence in the male-dominated police force. Despite the chaos around her, she remains calm and collected, often serving as the voice of reason within the group. Her character also brings an emotional depth to the story, particularly in the scenes where her vulnerability is revealed. The Predator's decision to spare Leona upon discovering she is pregnant adds a surprising layer of complexity to both her character and the alien hunter itself. This moment not only highlights Leona's humanity but also offers a rare glimpse into the Predator's moral code, showing that even a seemingly ruthless killer operates within a framework of honor. Adding a touch of levity to the intense proceedings is Detective Jerry Lambert, played with charm and energy by Bill Paxton. Lambert's brash, cocky demeanor initially sets him apart as the team's wild card. His jokes and over-the-top personality bring moments of comic relief, a necessary reprieve from the film's relentless tension. However, Lambert is far more than a one-dimensional comic character. Beneath his flamboyant exterior lies a courageous and capable officer who proves his worth time and again. His ultimate sacrifice during a confrontation with the Predator is both heartbreaking and heroic, underscoring the high stakes of their battle and the bravery of those who face the alien threat head-on. On the other side of the spectrum is Peter Keyes, the enigmatic government operative played by Gary Busey. Keyes is a character shrouded in mystery, his motivations and methods often at odds with Harrigan's straightforward approach. As the leader of a covert operation to capture the Predator, Keyes represents the cold, calculating side of human ambition, willing to take immense risks for the sake of scientific discovery and potential power. Busey's performance adds an edge of arrogance and intensity to Keyes, making him a compelling foil to Harrigan. The tension between the two characters highlights the clash of ideologies in the face of an unprecedented threat. While Harrigan prioritizes the safety of his team and the city, Keyes is willing to gamble with lives to achieve his goals. This conflict adds an additional layer of drama to the narrative, culminating in Keyes' downfall during a failed attempt to trap the Predator. The Predator itself emerges as one of the most fascinating characters in the film. Though it does not speak, its actions and behavior convey a sense of intelligence, purpose, and even a twisted sense of honor. This sequel expands on the Predator's mythology, showing it as more than just a mindless killer. The alien sparing of Leona and its ritualistic approach to hunting demonstrate a code of ethics that, while alien, is undeniably compelling. The Predator's interactions with Harrigan, in particular, elevate it from a simple antagonist to a formidable rival, one that commands both fear and respect. Supporting characters like King Willie, played by Calvin Lockhart, add additional texture to the story. Willie's cryptic dialogue and eerie demeanor bring an almost supernatural quality to the narrative, suggesting a deeper connection between human folklore and the alien presence. Though his screen time is brief, Willie leaves a lasting impression, his death marking yet another example of the Predator's relentless pursuit of worthy prey. The dynamic among the cast members is another highlight of the film. The camaraderie and banter within Harrigan's team feel genuine, making their losses all the more impactful. The friction between Harrigan and Keyes creates a compelling narrative tension, while the Predator's interactions with its human adversaries provide a fascinating exploration of hunter and hunted. These relationships and conflicts drive the story forward, adding depth and complexity to what could have been a straightforward action film. Ultimately, the characters of Predator 2 are the backbone of its story. Their individual arcs and collective struggles create a narrative that is as emotionally resonant as it is action-packed. From Harrigan's evolution as a leader to the Predator's enigmatic code of honor, every character contributes to the film's exploration of survival, morality, and the lengths to which individuals will go to protect what they hold dear. Through their trials and triumphs, the characters of Predator 2 remind us that even in the face of overwhelming odds, humanity's greatest strength lies in its resilience and ingenuity. In the heart of Los Angeles in the late 1980s, as filmmakers envisioned the next chapter of the Predator saga, the creation of Predator 2 unfolded like its own gripping story, filled with challenges, surprising twists, and incredible details that would later become the stuff of Hollywood legend. While the audience was enthralled by the intense action on screen, few realized just how eventful the production process was behind the camera. From wild costume designs to peculiar casting tales, the making of Predator 2 was every bit as chaotic and thrilling as the city it portrayed. One of the most remarkable aspects of Predator 2 is how it expanded the Predator's lore. For this sequel, the filmmakers decided to break away from the jungle setting of the original and transport the extraterrestrial hunter to the urban jungle of Los Angeles. This decision wasn't just a creative leap, it was a logistical nightmare. Los Angeles was experiencing an intense heat wave during filming, which mirrored the movie's scorching city backdrop. Cast and crew alike endured relentless temperatures, with actors like Danny Glover performing in stifling conditions that rivaled the oppressive jungle heat Arnold Schwarzenegger had faced in the first film. However, the true test of endurance was reserved for Kevin Peter Hall, the actor who brought the Predator to life. At over 7 feet tall, Hall was already an imposing presence, but inside the Predator's elaborate costume, he became almost otherworldly. The costume, though visually stunning, was a torturous contraption. It weighed over 200 pounds and required meticulous assembly, leaving Hall sweating profusely within minutes of stepping into it. Filming action scenes in this suit was a Herculean task, especially under the blistering Los Angeles sun. Crew members had to keep Hall hydrated and cool between takes, often using industrial fans to provide brief moments of relief. The design of the Predator itself underwent some intriguing revisions for the sequel. To differentiate it from its predecessor, the team at Stan Winston Studios introduced subtle but significant changes. This Predator had a sleeker appearance, with a more ornate mask and distinctive tribal markings. The filmmakers also decided to showcase a variety of Predator weapons, including the iconic spear and net gun, expanding the arsenal far beyond what was seen in the first film. These weapons added depth to the Predator's character, emphasizing its status as a highly advanced and strategic hunter. But perhaps the strangest story involving the Predator's design was the inclusion of its trophy room in the film's climactic scenes. This room featured an array of skulls, including the now infamous xenomorph skull from the Alien franchise. This seemingly innocuous detail sent shockwaves through the sci-fi community, sparking endless debates and speculation about a potential crossover between the two iconic franchises. What began as a fun Easter egg for fans eventually paved the way for the Alien vs. Predator films, proving that a single prop can have a lasting impact on cinematic history. The casting process for Predator 2 was equally unconventional. Danny Glover, known for his roles in The Color Purple and the Lethal Weapon series, was an unexpected choice for the lead. While Arnold Schwarzenegger's Dutch was a muscle-bound powerhouse, Glover's Lieutenant Harrigan was a street-smart detective with a relentless drive to protect his city. Glover's casting brought a different kind of hero to the franchise, one grounded in grit and determination rather than sheer physicality. Interestingly, Arnold Schwarzenegger was originally approached to reprise his role, but scheduling conflicts and disagreements over the direction of the sequel led to his departure. This decision opened the door for Glover to step into the spotlight, offering audiences a fresh perspective on the Predator's human adversary. Another surprising addition to the cast was Gary Busey, who played the enigmatic government agent Peter Keyes. Busey's performance was as unpredictable as the actor himself, bringing a unique energy to the character. Behind the scenes, Busey was known for his eccentric behavior, often improvising lines and adding his own flair to scenes. His interactions with Danny Glover, both on and off-screen, were marked by a mix of camaraderie and tension, reflecting the dynamic between their characters. The inclusion of Bill Paxton as Detective Lambert added another layer of intrigue. Paxton became one of the few actors to face off against three iconic sci-fi creatures, the Predator, the Xenomorph, and the Terminator, earning him a unique place in cinematic history. Paxton's character, with his brash personality and quick wit, brought moments of levity to the otherwise intense narrative. Behind the scenes, the production team faced its own set of challenges. One of the most unusual occurred during the filming of the subway scene, a chaotic, claustrophobic sequence that required meticulous planning and coordination. The set, designed to mimic a Los Angeles subway car, was packed with extras, props, and equipment. The confined space made filming extremely difficult, with camera operators and actors constantly maneuvering to avoid collisions. To create the illusion of the Predator wreaking havoc in the crowded subway, the crew employed a combination of practical effects and clever camera angles, resulting in one of the film's most memorable moments. Another fascinating tidbit involves the film's score, composed by Alan Silvestri. Building on the themes he established in the original Predator, Silvestri infused the sequel's soundtrack with a darker, more urban tone. The music, with its pounding percussion and haunting melodies, perfectly captured the film's tense and gritty atmosphere. Interestingly, Silvestri experimented with unconventional instruments and recording techniques to achieve this sound, further enhancing the Predator's otherworldly presence. Marketing Predator 2 also presented some unique challenges. The film's graphic violence and intense themes led to an initial X rating from the Motion Picture Association of America, MPAA. The filmmakers had to make several edits to secure an R rating, carefully balancing the film's brutal action with the need to reach a wider audience. This process involved cutting some of the more gruesome kills and toning down certain scenes, though the final product retained much of its edge. The legacy of Predator 2 is also marked by its impact on the franchise as a whole. The film introduced several elements that would become staples of Predator lore, including the concept of a code of honor among predators and their use of advanced medical technology. These additions enriched the mythology, providing fans with new insights into the alien hunter's culture and behavior. One of the strangest stories to emerge from the production involves the film's connection to real-life events. At the time of its release, Los Angeles was grappling with rising crime rates and social unrest, themes that are vividly portrayed in the movie. Some critics even suggested that Predator 2 was a commentary on the city's struggles, using the Predator as a metaphor for the relentless violence and chaos of urban life. This unintended parallel added a layer of relevance to the film, resonating with audiences in unexpected ways. Finally, the film's ending, which reveals a group of predators aboard their spaceship, was a bold move that left viewers with more questions than answers. This scene, featuring the gift of a flintlock pistol to Harrigan, hinted at the Predator's long history of hunting on Earth and opened the door for endless possibilities in future installments. The decision to include this scene was a gamble, but it paid off, cementing Predator 2 as a pivotal chapter in the franchise. From its daring creative choices to the challenges faced by its cast and crew, the making of Predator 2 is a story as thrilling as the film itself. It's a testament to the power of collaboration, perseverance, and a shared vision to create something truly unforgettable. In Predator 2, the intensity and stakes were amplified from its predecessor, moving from the primal jungle to the urban chaos of Los Angeles. This transition was a bold narrative decision, and it carried significant weight in how the film was received by critics and audiences alike. At its core, Predator 2 isn't just an action-packed sequel. It's a commentary on survival, human resilience, and the thin line separating hunter from hunted. The film delves into the complexities of urban warfare, societal decay, and the enduring nature of primal instincts in the face of overwhelming odds. One of the film's most critically dissected events is the introduction of Lieutenant Mike Harrigan, portrayed by Danny Glover, as the new protagonist. Unlike Arnold Schwarzenegger's Dutch from the original film, Harrigan is a grounded, everyman hero. He's not a soldier fighting in an isolated jungle, but a seasoned detective battling crime and corruption in a sprawling, overheated city. This shift in character dynamic immediately sets the tone for the sequel. Harrigan is relatable, flawed, and deeply human, which contrasts sharply with the Predator's calculated, otherworldly precision. Critics have often debated whether this shift in perspective diluted the franchise's appeal or made it more accessible. Harrigan's confrontation with the Predator in the climactic scenes, particularly aboard the alien ship, is a moment of thematic resonance. The battle is not just physical but symbolic. It represents humanity's refusal to succumb to forces beyond its control. When Harrigan wields the Predator's own weapon against it, it's a powerful statement about adaptation and the indomitable human spirit. Critics have praised this moment for its layered storytelling, emphasizing the Predator's code of honor and Harrigan's determination to survive on his own terms. The film's opening sequence is another pivotal moment that has drawn considerable attention. Set against the backdrop of a gang war in Los Angeles, this chaotic introduction immediately immerses the audience in a world of unrelenting violence and disorder. Critics have often noted how this scene serves as a mirror to the Predator's arrival, suggesting that the city itself is a breeding ground for the kind of predatory behavior the alien thrives on. The blending of human and alien violence blurs the lines between the two, raising questions about what it truly means to be a predator. The scene where Harrigan first encounters the Predator face-to-face is another moment of critical importance. This tense interaction strips away the mystery surrounding the alien, laying bare its physicality and presence. The Predator is no longer an unseen force but a tangible, formidable adversary. This shift in perspective allows the audience to fully appreciate the creature's design and behavior, emphasizing its intelligence and adaptability. Critics have lauded this scene for its meticulous pacing and atmospheric tension, which build to a crescendo that leaves a lasting impression. From a thematic standpoint, Predator 2 explores the concept of territory, both literal and metaphorical. The Predator's decision to hunt in Los Angeles is not arbitrary. It's a calculated move into a landscape where survival is already a daily struggle. The urban jungle, with its towering skyscrapers and labyrinthine streets, serves as a fitting counterpart to the natural jungle of the first film. This setting amplifies the film's tension, as the Predator seamlessly blends into the chaos of the city, stalking its prey with ruthless efficiency. Critics have often highlighted this setting as one of the film's strengths, noting how it adds a layer of realism and urgency to the narrative. Another significant event that has sparked critical analysis is the subway sequence. This scene, with its claustrophobic atmosphere and relentless pace, is a masterclass in suspense. The dim lighting and rapid cuts create a sense of disorientation, mirroring the character's fear and confusion. Critics have praised this sequence for its innovative use of sound design, which heightens the terror and keeps the audience on edge. The Predator's ability to navigate and dominate this environment underscores its adaptability, making it a truly formidable opponent. The film's depiction of the Predator's technology and weaponry is another area that has garnered considerable attention. The introduction of advanced tools like the net gun and combi stick expands the creature's arsenal, showcasing its ingenuity and strategic prowess. These weapons are not just instruments of destruction but extensions of the Predator's character, emphasizing its role as a calculated and efficient hunter. Critics have noted how these elements add depth to the narrative, providing new insights into the Predator's culture and capabilities. The dynamic between Harrigan and the Predator is a central focus of the film, and their final confrontation is a moment of catharsis. This battle, set aboard the Predator's spaceship, is a visual and emotional spectacle. The scene's intricate design, with its glowing hieroglyphs and eerie lighting, creates a sense of wonder and dread. Critics have often cited this setting as a standout moment, praising its attention to detail and its role in expanding the Predator's mythology. Harrigan's victory, achieved through sheer willpower and resourcefulness, reinforces the film's underlying theme of resilience in the face of adversity. The inclusion of the Predator's trophy room in this scene is particularly noteworthy. The collection of skulls, representing a diverse range of species, offers a glimpse into the creature's long history of hunting. The xenomorph skull, in particular, has become an iconic image, sparking endless speculation about the interconnectedness of the Predator and Alien franchises. This detail, while seemingly minor, has had a profound impact on the sci-fi genre, influencing subsequent films and media. Critics have also examined the film's exploration of power dynamics and morality. The Predator, despite its brutality, operates within a strict code of conduct, only targeting those it deems worthy adversaries. This code sets it apart from the human characters, many of whom are driven by greed, ambition, or desperation. The film's portrayal of these contrasting values raises thought-provoking questions about honor and ethics, prompting viewers to reconsider their perceptions of heroism and villainy. The thematic resonance of Predator 2 is further enhanced by its commentary on societal issues. The film's depiction of a crime-ridden Los Angeles, plagued by corruption and violence, serves as a stark reflection of real-world challenges. Critics have often noted how the film uses its setting to explore themes of survival and adaptability, drawing parallels between the Predator's hunt and the struggles faced by the city's inhabitants. This social commentary adds depth to the narrative, making it more than just a straightforward action film. Finally, the film's ending, which sees Harrigan triumphantly exiting the Predator's spaceship, is a moment of triumph and closure. This scene, with its blend of action and introspection, encapsulates the film's core message, that courage and determination can overcome even the most insurmountable odds. Critics have praised this ending for its emotional impact, noting how it leaves the audience with a sense of hope and empowerment. In conclusion, Predator 2 is a film that invites analysis and reflection, offering a rich tapestry of themes and events that resonate on multiple levels. Its bold narrative choices, coupled with its exploration of human and alien dynamics, have cemented its place as a thought-provoking and enduring entry in the Predator franchise. The making of Predator 2, released in 1990, was an intriguing blend of chaos, creativity, and determination. The film, directed by Stephen Hopkins, was the sequel to the highly successful Predator, 1987, and it faced the challenge of living up to the original's massive fanbase while carving its own identity. The production was an intense process, with a series of unusual circumstances, behind-the-scenes stories, and some fun facts that made the creation of this iconic sci-fi action movie a unique experience. The journey of Predator 2 began after the success of its predecessor, which was not only a box office hit but also a fan favorite. However, the sequel's production came with its set of challenges. The original Predator had been a massive physical and environmental challenge for the crew, particularly with the tropical jungle settings. For the follow-up, the filmmakers decided to bring the alien Predator to a whole new environment, the gritty, urban setting of Los Angeles. This shift in environment would prove to be one of the most significant aspects of the film, but it also came with its own set of hurdles. The film's central character was once again a human protagonist, but this time, the story was set in the urban jungle of L.A., far removed from the dense forests of the first movie. Danny Glover was cast as the main character, Lieutenant Mike Harrigan. Known for his role in the Lethal Weapon series, Glover's casting was an intentional choice by the filmmakers to bring a grounded, relatable quality to the character amidst the high-stakes sci-fi action. The film's script took a more urban, gritty approach, replacing the wild, natural surroundings with cityscapes, high-rise buildings, and alleyways. This change would prove to be an interesting dynamic for the filmmakers as they had to craft a story that kept the heart-pounding tension of the original, but in a very different environment. However, filming in the busy, bustling streets of Los Angeles presented its own set of difficulties. The production team had to recreate the chaos of the urban environment while still maintaining a sense of controlled intensity. There were moments when the film's high-octane action sequences and the urban setting created logistical nightmares for the production crew. The challenges of managing traffic, city noise, and the sometimes unpredictable behavior of crowds were ever present. Behind the scenes, the crew worked tirelessly to achieve a vision that would bring the Predator to life in a completely new way. One of the major technical challenges of Predator 2 was creating the alien's iconic Predator suit. The original film had featured the work of special effects wizard Stan Winston, and he returned to design a new version of the suit for the sequel. However, the process of bringing the Predator to life was far from easy. The creature's suit, which weighed over 50 pounds, was cumbersome to wear, especially in the hot Los Angeles sun. Several actors donned the Predator suit, including Kevin Peter Hall, who had portrayed the Predator in the original film. Hall, known for his towering height, was chosen once again to wear the suit. However, the heavy suit and its limitations in movement often made it a physically demanding role. It took a lot of practice to ensure that the Predator's movements were fluid, and some of the more intense action scenes had to be carefully choreographed. In addition to the challenge of wearing the suit, there were also technical hurdles to overcome with the Predator's advanced vision system. The suit was equipped with intricate mechanical elements that allowed the Predator to appear as if it had advanced vision modes, such as thermal imaging and night vision. These features were crucial to the film's narrative, as they played a significant role in the Predator's hunting strategy. However, the technical limitations of the time made it challenging to get the effects just right. Special effects artist John Dykstra, who worked on the visual effects for Predator 2, and his team had to develop creative solutions to make the vision systems believable. The film's production team spent hours on set tweaking the Predator's helmet and design, ensuring that it looked both menacing and functional on screen. Another interesting anecdote from the production involved the Predator's iconic jumping abilities. During certain scenes, the Predator was seen leaping from building to building, which required a combination of physical stunts and visual effects. Stuntman and actor Brian Steele, who was part of the team working on the Predator's movements, performed some of these daring leaps. However, due to safety concerns and the complexity of these stunts, the filmmakers opted to use a combination of wire rigs and visual effects to make the jumps appear seamless. Steele recalls the difficulty of performing the jumps, often being suspended in the air for long periods, and the challenge of maintaining the right posture for the Predator while suspended. While the Predator's physicality was one of the film's central points of focus, the filmmakers were also eager to explore new ways to develop the creature's mythos. The film's creators decided to incorporate more of the Predator's backstory and introduce additional elements to its lore. The film delved deeper into the Predator's world, hinting at its origins, culture, and the fact that the Predator species had been hunting for centuries. This decision to expand on the Predator mythos helped elevate the film beyond a simple action sequel and provided a richer, more immersive experience for fans of the franchise. The idea of the Predators being part of a larger, more complex universe was a decision that would continue to shape the franchise in the years that followed. In addition to the visual effects, the filmmakers worked hard to create the perfect atmosphere for the film's action scenes. The action sequences were shot with a high degree of intensity, utilizing fast-paced editing, dynamic camera angles, and creative lighting techniques. The filmmakers knew that maintaining the sense of danger and excitement was crucial, and they used a combination of practical effects and CGI to create moments that still stand out today. One notable scene, in which the Predator's weapons clash with the police force, was particularly challenging to film. The filmmakers had to make sure that the violence was intense but also contained, as the film was not meant to glorify bloodshed. Instead, the focus was on the tension, the chase, and the Predator's relentless pursuit of its prey. Throughout the production, there were numerous stories of on-set pranks and challenges that kept the cast and crew entertained during the intense shooting schedule. One of the more light-hearted moments occurred when the cast and crew were filming the interior scenes of the Predator's spaceship. The cramped sets, combined with the hot and oppressive weather in Los Angeles, made for an uncomfortable shooting environment. However, the actors, including Danny Glover and Gary Busey, kept the mood light with their jokes and camaraderie. There were times when, despite the heavy nature of the story, the set was filled with laughter, which provided a refreshing break from the more intense moments. Another memorable moment came when the filmmakers were attempting to create a truly epic finale to the film. The final scenes, which involved the Predator and the character of Harrigan engaging in a brutal fight, were meant to be a climactic conclusion to the movie. However, due to the complexity of the sequence, the filmmakers had to rethink their approach multiple times. After a few unsuccessful attempts, they decided to rely more on physical stunts, as opposed to just visual effects. This approach proved successful, as it added a layer of realism to the final confrontation, making it even more satisfying for the audience. Ultimately, Predator 2 is remembered not just for its action and spectacle, but also for the hard work, creativity, and collaboration that went into making it. From the elaborate designs of the Predator suit to the creative solutions needed for the visual effects, every aspect of the production was carefully considered to deliver a unique and thrilling experience. Despite facing numerous challenges along the way, the filmmakers remained dedicated to creating a film that would leave a lasting impact on fans. Today, Predator 2 is seen as an underrated gem in the franchise, and its production remains a fascinating story of ingenuity, persistence, and collaboration. The film Predator 2, 1990, stands as a testament to the creative innovation that can arise from using urban landscapes and technical filmmaking expertise to deliver a tense, atmospheric action thriller. While the original Predator, 1987, was set in the dense, unforgiving jungles of Central America, the sequel made a bold decision to transport the Predator to the bustling, chaotic streets of Los Angeles. This drastic change in setting, from the wild to the urban, was not just a narrative decision but a deliberate attempt to heighten the tension and change the dynamics of the hunt. Predator 2 would not only become iconic for its predator creature and its mythos but also for its incredible use of setting and cinematography. From sun-soaked streets to claustrophobic city interiors, the film's visual and atmospheric elements worked hand in hand to create an experience unlike anything seen before in sci-fi action films. The film is set in Los Angeles during the summer of 1997, and the city's sprawling, diverse urban environment becomes a character in itself, playing a significant role in enhancing the story and the tone of the movie. As the story begins, Los Angeles is depicted as a violent, dystopian landscape teetering on the edge of societal collapse. The city is in the midst of a heat wave, and the tension between gangs, law enforcement, and a rapidly deteriorating urban society provides a fitting backdrop for the Predator's arrival. The film's setting brings with it a sense of suffocating heat, poverty, and danger, where the threat of violence seems ever present. This creates a perfect environment for the Predator, a creature that thrives on hunting in conditions of extreme stress and chaos. The Los Angeles setting plays a crucial role in establishing the mood of Predator 2. While the original film had the natural world as a threatening entity, the sequel's urban jungle is defined by violence, unpredictability, and complexity. The city streets, rife with gang wars and social unrest, feel as inhospitable as any jungle. The heat from the sweltering summer sun seems to intensify the tension. While the first film dealt with the tension of being isolated in the jungle, Predator 2 explores the chaos of living in an overcrowded, crumbling urban environment. The setting immediately immerses the audience in a gritty, harsh world where survival is the top priority, and the Predator's arrival only amplifies the danger that already exists. Los Angeles streets. The urban jungle. Filming in Los Angeles allowed the filmmakers to exploit the city's multifaceted nature. There are towering skyscrapers, narrow alleyways, and neon-lit streets. The idea of the urban jungle wasn't just metaphorical, it was literal. The Predator is a hunter, and Los Angeles, with its labyrinthine streets and dangerous underbelly, provides the perfect battleground for the alien. The film starts in a scene where an intense gang battle takes place in a heatwave-stricken Los Angeles neighborhood, and the streets become the battleground for a city on edge. The tension between the police force, led by the protagonist Lieutenant Mike Harrigan, Danny Glover, and the dangerous criminal faction sets the stage for the battle with the extraterrestrial Predator. The film's opening sequence establishes the urban atmosphere immediately, featuring a high-octane chase scene in which Harrigan pursues a gang member through the chaotic streets. The action takes place in broad daylight, which is not often the case in typical action films. The sunlight, the heat shimmering off the concrete, and the grittiness of the environment all contribute to a unique setting that is far removed from the shadowy forest in the first movie. It's not a vast, open expanse, but instead a tightly packed, claustrophobic world, where there is nowhere to hide and danger seems to lurk around every corner. Throughout the movie, the urban streets are framed by the towering, intimidating structures of the city. These skyscrapers often serve as a reminder of the overwhelming and ever-present threat of the Predator, who, despite being an alien creature, seems perfectly adapted to this environment. The film makes use of the setting by presenting the city's streets as both a hunting ground for the Predator and a metaphorical battleground for the character of Harrigan. There is no real safe haven, whether it's the congested apartment buildings, the decaying alleys, or the wide-open spaces of the city. Every location brings its own level of peril and tension. The interior spaces, close quarters and heightened tension. The interior settings in Predator 2 take on a different kind of atmosphere, adding to the overall mood and tone of the film. One of the most crucial settings is the police department itself, where much of the film's procedural elements take place. These claustrophobic spaces, tight corridors, narrow offices, and darkened rooms, serve as a stark contrast to the open expanse of the city streets. Inside these spaces, the characters grapple with the increasing realization that they are being hunted by a far superior creature. The close-quarters nature of these spaces amplifies the tension, suggesting that even inside the safety of their own base, the characters are not truly safe. One of the most memorable sequences in the film takes place in a hospital, where the predator stalks its prey through the dimly lit, sterile halls. The hospital's cold, clinical spaces, illuminated by flickering fluorescent lights, contribute to the eerie sense of danger. The clinical whiteness of the walls contrasts sharply with the vibrant violence unfolding. The filmmakers use these stark, lifeless settings to show how the characters' lives are hanging by a thread, even within a seemingly safe environment. The hospital represents the place where wounds are treated, yet it is where death and violence will ultimately find the characters as the predator begins to stalk them. The film's setting also explores a deeper and more enigmatic side of the predator, as the alien's lair is hinted at, but not fully explored. The predator's spaceship, located in the city's hidden corners, becomes an eerie place of refuge for the alien as it heals and prepares for its next hunt. The ship is not like any ordinary location in the film. Instead, it's depicted as an otherworldly, almost sacred space that connects the alien to a broader mythology. The design of the ship's interior, with its glowing alien technology and strange, almost ritualistic decor, adds to the atmosphere of mystery. It's clear that this location is not just a place for the predator to recuperate. It's an intimate space that reflects the creature's complex nature and its cultural and technological superiority. The idea that this alien being, who has been hunting for centuries, has a hidden sanctuary within the city adds an additional layer of suspense to the film. This sense of an unseen world not only adds to the thrill of the hunt but suggests that the predator operates within a far greater and more complex network of predators, aliens, and intergalactic rituals. This element, though sparse in detail, contributes heavily to the film's mythos and enhances the mystery of the creature. Cinematography and visual storytelling. The cinematography of Predator 2 is one of the film's most compelling aspects, and it plays a vital role in enhancing the atmosphere and building tension. The filmmakers used a combination of handheld and static shots to create a sense of immediacy and urgency throughout the film. The camera movements are sharp, intense, and unrelenting, echoing the film's thematic undercurrent of survival and relentless pursuit. The urban setting necessitated a unique approach to lighting. Cinematographer Peter Menzies Jr. skillfully used lighting to contrast the dark, threatening alleyways with the bright, harsh sunlight of the city. The warm, amber glow of the sunlight adds a sense of suffocating heat, which is a crucial atmospheric element in the film. In contrast, the scenes set in the shadows, particularly those involving the predator, are bathed in cold blues and greens. The stark contrast between these colors creates a sense of unease and impending danger. One of the standout features of Predator 2's cinematography is its use of visual elements to create the feeling of being hunted. The Predator's advanced vision system, which allows it to see heat signatures and other visual modes, is brought to life through the use of thermal imaging in certain scenes. These moments, which depict the Predator's point of view, are brilliantly framed with an otherworldly glow that creates an unsettling sense of being watched. The predator's perspective not only adds a layer of tension but also invites the audience into the creature's own mode of vision, making the film's tension even more visceral. The use of reflections in the city's windows and glass surfaces also plays a significant role in building suspense. The filmmakers take full advantage of the reflections to suggest the presence of the predator in seemingly mundane moments. These visual cues, often subtle but impactful, let the audience know that the predator is always lurking in the shadows, waiting for the right moment to strike. This careful use of visual elements heightens the uncertainty of the film's central conflict. The film's tone, heat, violence, and hunt. All these elements, setting, cinematography, lighting, and visual effects, work in harmony to create the film's unmistakable tone. Predator 2 is a film drenched in the heat and violence of an urban environment. Every location, every shot, and every choice in framing contributes to the overall sense of impending doom. The film's bleak urban landscapes, harsh lighting, and chaotic energy set the stage for a relentless predator who thrives in environments filled with danger and violence. The tone of Predator 2 is dark, suffocating, and violent, yet it is also strangely exhilarating. The city feels like a pressure cooker, where the tension never lets up, and the predator is the catalyst that turns everything to chaos. The filmmakers, through their use of setting and cinematic techniques, created an atmosphere that leaves the audience on the edge of their seat, never sure where the next threat will emerge from. In conclusion, the setting and cinematography of Predator 2 play pivotal roles in its storytelling. From the sun-baked streets of Los Angeles to the cold, sterile hospital corridors, each location enhances the film's atmosphere and contributes to its ever-growing sense of tension. The filmmakers used every available tool to create a mood of unease, suspense, and danger, and it is through these visual elements that Predator 2 has endured as a thrilling and visually distinct film. The city of Los Angeles, with its crumbling urban landscape, serves as a perfect hunting ground for the predator, and the cinematography immerses the audience in this high-stakes, fast-paced chase. The result is a film that not only expands the mythos of the Predator franchise but also pushes the boundaries of cinematic storytelling. The making of Predator 2, 1990, is a fascinating journey filled with unexpected challenges, on-set camaraderie, and plenty of behind-the-scenes moments that shaped the movie into the classic it is today. While the finished product is a hard-hitting action film full of suspense, mystery, and horror, the process of bringing this story to life was a challenging and often surprising one. From creative clashes to technical innovations, the production of Predator 2 was as intense as the film itself. When Predator 2 was first conceptualized, it was met with skepticism from some of the studio executives, particularly because it was taking the successful premise of the original film and drastically changing the setting. The decision to move from the jungle to the concrete jungle of Los Angeles was a bold move, and the production team knew that it had to be executed flawlessly to make the setting come alive. But it wasn't just the setting that presented challenges. It was everything from the extraordinary alien design to the extreme weather conditions that the cast and crew had to endure. 1. The challenge of filming in Los Angeles heat. Filming in the streets of Los Angeles during a blistering summer heat wave was one of the first major challenges that the crew had to face. The sweltering temperatures added an extra layer of difficulty, particularly for the actors who had to perform in full costumes and for the crew who had to capture every moment without the luxury of air conditioning. The film's director, Hopkins, recalls how the heat became an unexpected character in the film. "It wasn't just the predator who was hunting," he said. "It was the heat itself, this oppressive force that made everything harder." Many of the actors, especially Danny Glover, who played the lead role of Lieutenant Mike Harrigan, were struggling with the extreme temperatures on set. Glover, known for his dedication to his roles, was not deterred by the conditions. But there were moments where the heat proved almost unbearable. Glover, who had to film several scenes in heavy tactical gear, recalls feeling like he was melting during certain takes. For Glover, the physical toll of filming was compounded by the psychological strain of playing a character who is constantly in pursuit of a relentless predator. But the heat didn't just affect the actors, it affected the equipment as well. Cameras overheated, and technical problems became frequent. The crew had to adapt quickly, constantly adjusting to the changing conditions while still keeping the production on schedule. It was a tense situation, but it became a kind of camaraderie for the cast and crew. They worked together to make sure the film kept moving forward, knowing that they were creating something unique and special despite the external pressures. 2. The Predator suit, design and challenges. One of the most iconic elements of Predator 2 is, of course, the Predator itself. The creature's design in the sequel was a crucial part of the film's success, and the process of bringing the Predator to life was a journey fraught with challenges and creative discoveries. The Predator suit, designed by Stan Winston and his team, was a massive undertaking. The team had to create a suit that would be both visually striking and functional for the actors who would be wearing it. The suit was made up of several layers of materials, including rubber and latex, and it took several hours each day for the actors to get into full costume. The actors, especially Kevin Peter Hall, who portrayed the Predator in the original and in the sequel, often spent hours in the suit, which was not only heavy but cumbersome to move in. Hall, who stood at an imposing 7 feet 2 inches tall, was the perfect fit for the role of the Predator. However, the suit's heavy design made even basic movements difficult. Hall recalls how challenging it was to walk, run, and especially fight while wearing the suit. The hardest part wasn't just the heat or the weight, he said, it was the lack of visibility. Inside the suit, the eye holes were small, and the visibility was limited. But it's all about getting into the character, and I had to make it work. Hall's commitment to the role is evident in his performance as the Predator, even if it meant enduring extreme discomfort and a great deal of physical strain. There were other difficulties, too. The Predator's plasma caster weapon, one of the character's signature gadgets, was a complex piece of equipment that required meticulous coordination between the suit and the prop design. It wasn't just about looking cool, it had to work within the context of the film. The prop team worked tirelessly to ensure the weapon was functional, and at times, the technical challenges almost became too much. Several times during the shooting, the plasma caster malfunctioned, leading to delays. But in true Hollywood fashion, these challenges were met with ingenuity, and the production team was able to overcome these setbacks to create some of the most memorable moments in the film. 3. The dynamic between cast and crew. Despite the physical and technical challenges, the cast and crew of Predator 2 bonded over their shared dedication to the project. The atmosphere on set was one of camaraderie and mutual respect, with actors and crew members alike putting in long hours and hard work. Danny Glover, who had become a major action star by this point, took on the role of the weary but determined Lieutenant Mike Harrigan. While he was known for his roles in Lethal Weapon, his character in Predator 2 was different. Gritty, worn down, and mentally exhausted from his pursuit of the creature. Glover quickly formed a strong bond with the film's director, Stephen Hopkins. Hopkins had come to Hollywood from the UK and was relatively new to the world of big-budget action films. His vision for the film was bold, and he wanted to make sure that Predator 2 didn't simply rehash the original but brought a fresh energy to the series. He and Glover worked closely to shape the character of Harrigan. Glover appreciated the director's commitment to making the character multi-dimensional and not just another stereotypical action hero. There were, of course, moments of levity during the production. The crew would often take breaks from filming to share funny stories or engage in light-hearted banter. One such moment occurred when Bill Paxton, who played the role of the brash police officer Jerry Lambert, decided to play a prank on the rest of the cast. Paxton, known for his humor and infectious personality, would often bring a sense of levity to the otherwise tense atmosphere. On one occasion, Paxton showed up on set dressed as the Predator, donning a modified version of the suit. His antics caused quite a stir, and the crew was left in stitches, with Glover jokingly calling Paxton the only Predator who wasn't scary. Despite these moments of fun, there were plenty of challenges to overcome. The production was not without its conflicts, and some of these challenges resulted in moments of creative tension. Stephen Hopkins had a particular vision for the film, one that involved pushing the boundaries of what an action movie could be. He wanted to incorporate a deeper, darker tone into the film, one that explored not just the hunt but the psychological toll it took on the characters. There were times when this vision clashed with the expectations of the studio, who wanted to ensure that the film remained accessible to the mass audience. But Hopkins and his team stuck to their guns, and in the end, the film emerged as something far more complex than a typical action movie. This was due in large part to the director's willingness to fight for the narrative choices that would make the movie stand out. 4. A few surprising stories from the set. Not all behind-the-scenes stories were filled with tension or hard work. In fact, some of the most surprising moments were completely unexpected. One of the most famous and unexpected stories from the set involved a scene with the Predator in a highly publicized location, the Los Angeles subway. While filming this sequence, a number of unexpected things happened. The crew had to block off parts of the subway to film the scene, and in a twist of fate, the subway cars happened to be packed with real passengers. At one point, a group of commuters witnessed the predator walking through the station. The sight of the massive creature startled several passengers, leading to a few shocked reactions. According to crew members, some of the passengers didn't even realize it was part of the movie. The sight of the towering, menacing figure in the subway station led to several impromptu reactions, and the crew managed to capture some of these real-world interactions on film. Perhaps the most surprising and humorous story came from the costume department, where a mix-up led to a brief, yet amusing, encounter. During one scene, the predator was supposed to appear in full costume, but the actor inside the suit was experiencing difficulties getting into it. As a result, a costume assistant mistakenly put the suit on the wrong actor, someone who was not part of the film's main cast. Demanding production. 5. Overcoming the challenges. As the production of Predator 2 progressed, the crew faced one final, overwhelming challenge: wrapping up the film on time and within budget. With all the complexities involved, from technical difficulties with the Predator suit to the demanding weather conditions, it was clear that finishing the film would require extraordinary teamwork and creativity. However, despite the adversity, the film was completed without any major delays. The post-production process was equally grueling, with the editing team working tirelessly to create the tight, fast-paced sequence of events that ultimately defined the film's tone. In the end, Predator 2 became a product of sheer determination, creative problem-solving, and collaborative effort. From overcoming the brutal heat of Los Angeles to finding inventive ways to bring the Predator to life, the cast and crew had pulled together to create something truly unique. The film would go on to become an enduring classic, not just for its action and suspense but for the incredible behind-the-scenes stories that shaped its making. In conclusion, the production of Predator 2 was an adventure in itself. The hardships, creative challenges, and behind-the-scenes surprises all contributed to the film's success. The movie stands as a testament to the dedication and passion of everyone involved in its making, and it is through these stories and challenges that the final product was shaped into the cinematic triumph it remains today. Predator 2, 1990, directed by Stephen Hopkins, may seem on the surface like a straightforward action film filled with futuristic weaponry, intense combat, and an alien creature hunting humans. However, beneath the surface, the film is rich with themes that explore human nature, societal decay, and the cycle of violence. These themes, woven into the narrative, add depth to the story, and the use of symbolism throughout the film further reinforces these ideas, giving viewers a complex and thought-provoking experience. At its heart, Predator 2 is a story of survival, both for its human protagonists and the alien predator, but it also explores themes of power, justice, and the fine line between predator and prey. Through its settings, characters, and story arcs, the film examines how violence begets violence, the cost of vengeance, and the role of the outsider in society. The film uses symbolism not only to reflect these themes but also to deepen their impact, creating an experience that lingers long after the credits roll. 1. The nature of violence, predator and prey. One of the central themes of Predator 2 is the nature of violence, both on a personal and societal level. From the very first scene, where a high-speed chase and a gunfight erupt in the streets of Los Angeles, the film sets a tone of unrelenting aggression. The city itself, depicted as a war zone, is a microcosm of a larger, more violent world. Gang wars and escalating criminal activity reflect the breakdown of social order, with law enforcement struggling to maintain control. The depiction of Los Angeles as a decaying urban jungle mirrors the idea that the lines between civilization and chaos have blurred, and that violence, once initiated, tends to escalate. This theme of escalating violence is also evident in the character arcs, particularly that of Lieutenant Mike Harrigan, played by Danny Glover. Harrigan is a seasoned cop in a city where violence is a constant, and his personal quest for justice drives him deeper into the conflict. His pursuit of the predator is not just about stopping an alien menace, but about him grappling with his own inner demons. Harrigan's methods, while grounded in a sense of right and wrong, increasingly resemble those of the predator, relentless, brutal, and unyielding. The predator itself is a symbol of violence, but its motives are rooted in a survival instinct. It hunts not out of malice, but because it is part of a code, a ritualistic need to prove superiority. The predator's approach to violence is methodical, calculated, and impersonal. Unlike the human characters, who are often driven by emotions such as revenge or justice, the predator remains detached, a force of nature that follows a strict set of rules. This contrast between the predator's cold, ritualistic violence and the chaotic, emotionally charged violence of the human characters highlights the differences between primal instincts and the human need for moral justification. The predator's hunting methods, including the use of advanced technology and its ability to camouflage itself, further emphasize the theme of the hunter and the hunted. As Harrigan chases the creature, it becomes apparent that the lines between predator and prey are not as clear-cut as they may seem. The predator is not a mindless killer, but a creature bound by its own code of honor, yet in its pursuit of dominance, it reflects the darker, more destructive side of human nature. As the film progresses, the predator and Harrigan become two sides of the same coin, both driven by a need to conquer, survive, and assert dominance in an environment where violence reigns supreme. 2. Justice and the law, a corruption of morality. Another significant theme explored in Predator 2 is the idea of justice and the morality of law enforcement. Lieutenant Harrigan's role as a lawman is central to the plot, and his actions throughout the film highlight the tension between justice and personal vengeance. From the start, it's clear that Harrigan is a man who has seen it all. He's grown disillusioned with the justice system, which often fails to deliver on its promises. His violent methods of pursuing criminals reflect a frustration with the system's inability to punish wrongdoers in a way that satisfies his sense of justice. As Harrigan delves deeper into the mystery of the predator, he finds himself increasingly caught in a moral dilemma. He starts to embrace a more personal form of justice, where the rules of law are bent or broken in favor of immediate retribution. His pursuit of the predator is not just about stopping an alien creature. It is about seeking justice for the brutal deaths of his colleagues, and by extension, taking a personal stand against the violence that plagues his city. This theme of justice is further complicated by the presence of the predator, whose own actions and code of honor create a counterpoint to Harrigan's sense of right and wrong. The predator operates by its own set of rules, hunting only the strongest and most worthy adversaries, and in doing so, it presents a stark contrast to the human understanding of justice. While Harrigan seeks to uphold the law, the predator's sense of morality is based on a survivalist approach, where only the strong survive and the weak are eliminated. The predator's presence in the urban setting of Los Angeles challenges the idea of traditional justice. In a world where the lines between good and evil are often blurred, the predator's actions force the characters to confront their own moral beliefs and question what true justice really means. This theme of justice and its corruption is reflected in Harrigan's transformation throughout the film, as he begins to adopt the very same brutal tactics used by the predator in his own quest for vengeance. 3. Symbolism of the predator and the city. The predator, as a character, is heavily symbolic throughout the film. It is not just a physical alien, but a representation of the primal, unchecked violence that exists in both the human and alien worlds. Its alien technology, such as its cloaking device and plasma weaponry, represents the alienation of the character from humanity, while its need to hunt and kill symbolizes the darker aspects of human nature that society often seeks to repress. The predator's use of the urban environment as its hunting ground is also symbolic. Los Angeles, with its sprawling, crime-ridden streets, is an ideal setting for a creature that thrives in chaos and destruction. The city is portrayed as a place where lawlessness is rampant, and violence is a constant presence. The predator's ability to camouflage itself in this environment mirrors the sense of anonymity and invisibility that exists within the chaos of urban life. In a city where every person is a potential victim or perpetrator of violence, the predator becomes a natural extension of the urban decay that surrounds it. The visual motif of the jungle, previously the setting for the original Predator, is also subtly integrated into Predator 2. The Predator's camouflage abilities, which allow it to blend seamlessly into its surroundings, draw parallels between the dense, untamed jungle of the first film and the urban jungle of Los Angeles. Both environments are hostile to the characters, and in both, the Predator is the apex hunter. The urban jungle, with its skyscrapers, dark alleyways, and shadowy corners, becomes a battleground where the predator's skills are tested against human resilience and ingenuity. 4. The cycle of violence, rebirth and continuation. A recurring motif in Predator 2 is the idea of the cycle of violence, the never-ending loop of vengeance and retaliation that permeates the film. This cycle is illustrated through the character arcs, particularly Harrigan's. As he hunts down the predator, his methods become more violent and ruthless, suggesting that the cycle of violence is something that cannot be easily escaped. The predator, too, is caught in this cycle. It hunts not just for survival, but as part of a ritualistic practice that is passed down from generation to generation. This constant cycle of violence, with no clear beginning or end, suggests a deeper philosophical question about the nature of violence and its place in the world. The symbolism of the predator's final act, where it offers Harrigan a weapon as a sign of respect, further explores this theme. The weapon, a trophy of sorts, represents the predator's acknowledgement of Harrigan's strength and determination. However, it also symbolizes the continuation of the cycle of violence. By accepting the weapon, Harrigan becomes part of this ongoing cycle. He is now connected to the predator's world in a way that suggests that violence, once initiated, is a force that cannot easily be stopped. The final scene, with the appearance of the elder predators, reinforces the idea that the predator's presence on Earth is not an isolated event, but part of a long-standing tradition, a tradition of violence that will continue as long as there are hunters and prey. 5. The outsider, the predator as a metaphor. Another important theme in Predator 2 is the idea of the outsider, the creature that does not belong and yet is part of the world it inhabits. The predator, an alien being in a foreign environment, is a metaphor for the outsider figure who is both alien and familiar. It moves through the city like a ghost, watching from the shadows, observing the chaos without truly being part of it. This outsider status is something that connects the predator to Harrigan, who, as a cop in a city overrun with violence, feels isolated from the society he is trying to protect. Harrigan's struggle to find his place in the world is mirrored by the predator's own quest for dominance and respect. Both are outsiders in their own ways. Harrigan, as a man trying to uphold justice in a world that no longer believes in it, and the predator, as an alien species trying to prove its superiority on Earth. The final moment of the film, where the predator reveals itself to Harrigan as both a creature of violence and a being bound by honor, underscores this theme of the outsider. Both characters, despite their differences, are ultimately part of the same violent, chaotic world. In conclusion, Predator 2 is a film rich with themes and symbolism that elevate it beyond a simple action flick. Through its exploration of violence, justice, societal decay, and the role of the outsider, the film engages with complex philosophical ideas that resonate with the viewer. The use of symbolism, particularly through the predator itself and its connection to the urban setting, reinforces these themes and deepens their impact, creating a film that is as thought-provoking as it is thrilling. The predator may be the ultimate hunter, but the true prey in Predator 2 is the very concept of violence, which, once unleashed, continues to haunt both its perpetrators and its victims. The filmmaking process behind Predator 2, 1990, directed by Hopkins, represents a perfect blend of creative ingenuity, technical expertise, and commercial savvy. Though the film is primarily known for its action sequences and iconic alien predator, the craftsmanship involved in shaping its atmosphere and tone speaks volumes about the careful techniques employed by the filmmakers. From its groundbreaking sound design to its immersive camera work and editing, Predator 2 is a study in how technical execution can elevate a film beyond its genre conventions, creating a lasting cinematic experience that resonates with audiences. In many ways, the production of Predator 2 was a gamble. It followed in the footsteps of the 1987 original, a massive hit that introduced the world to the deadly extraterrestrial creature known as the Predator. But the sequel faced the challenge of not only living up to the iconic legacy of its predecessor, but also expanding the universe and exploring new thematic depths. What emerged was a film that used innovative filmmaking techniques to enhance its storytelling, delivering an action-packed narrative that was also visually captivating and audibly distinctive. 1. The filmmaking techniques, crafting a unique atmosphere. One of the most notable aspects of Predator 2 is its setting in the urban jungle of Los Angeles. Unlike the original, which took place in the dense, untamed forests of Central America, the sequel shifts the action to a sprawling, chaotic metropolis in the midst of a heat wave and escalating gang violence. The filmmakers had to rely on a set of techniques that not only suited this gritty, urban backdrop but also added to the film's sense of tension and danger. The decision to use a darker, more claustrophobic cityscape created a sense of imminent danger. In Predator 2, the city itself feels like a hostile environment, with narrow alleyways, rain-soaked streets, and towering buildings that obscure sightlines. To convey this oppressive atmosphere, cinematographer Peter Menzies Jr. made extensive use of low-key lighting and contrasting shadows, which helped build suspense and kept the audience on edge. The film's visual tone is one of darkness, both literal and metaphorical, as characters and the audience alike are constantly aware that danger is lurking in every corner. Menzies and Hopkins relied heavily on the camera's ability to enhance the feeling of being watched, a technique that mirrors the predator's own viewpoint. The audience is often placed in the perspective of the predator as it stalks its prey, heightening the tension. Menzies used tight framing to limit the amount of space visible on screen, making characters seem trapped within their environment, and this technique is particularly effective in conveying the predator's predatory approach. One iconic technique used in Predator 2 was the clever use of reflections. In several scenes, the predator's silhouette can be seen reflected in windows or shiny surfaces, adding a visual cue that the creature is always present, even when it is hidden. This mirroring effect was not only a technical achievement but also a thematic one, symbolizing how the predator is both an outsider and a reflection of the violence that pervades the city. 2. The sound design, enhancing the tension. Another filmmaking technique that stands out in Predator 2 is its groundbreaking sound design. Sound plays an essential role in heightening the film's tension and immersing the viewer in the experience. The film's soundscape is a perfect blend of ominous sounds, from the predator's eerie clicking noises to the background hum of the city itself, which all serve to heighten the tension between predator and prey. The predator's unique vocalizations, a combination of clicks, growls, and distorted sounds, were designed to convey its alien nature and heightened sensory awareness. This sound design was crucial in differentiating the predator from traditional movie monsters. The clicking sound, in particular, became an iconic motif of the franchise, signaling the presence of the predator long before it reveals itself on screen. The use of these sounds is integral to the film's atmospheric buildup, keeping the audience constantly aware of the predator's presence. The sound effects used to amplify the predator's hunting tools, such as the whooshing sound of its plasmacaster or the deep thrum of its cloaking device, were meticulously designed to not only be menacing but also reflective of the predator's advanced technology. Each of these sounds became almost a character in their own right, as they signaled danger, tension, and imminent violence. The filmmakers used these sound cues to create a rhythmic tension throughout the film, a pulse that kept the viewer engaged. Alongside the predator's sounds, the film's sound design also included the typical urban sounds of Los Angeles. The constant hum of city traffic, distant sirens, and the occasional burst of gunfire. These sounds were layered to create an immersive backdrop that felt just as alive as the characters themselves. The contrast between the city's noise and the eerie silence that precedes the predator's strikes adds to the emotional roller coaster of the film, building tension with every step. The film's musical score, composed by Alan Silvestri, further contributed to the overall mood and atmosphere. Silvestri, who had previously worked on the original Predator, used a similar approach for Predator 2, though with more urban influences. The score features a driving, rhythmic pulse that matches the intensity of the action sequences, but it also incorporates moments of quieter, more atmospheric melodies that build suspense. The music often fades into the background during tense moments, allowing the sounds of the city and the predator's presence to take center stage. This delicate balance between sound effects and score underscores the film's approach to creating an immersive, atmospheric experience for the audience. 3. Camera work and editing, creating pace and tension. The way the camera captures both the predator and its human prey plays a pivotal role in shaping the film's pacing and suspense. Cinematographer Peter Menzies Jr. worked closely with director Stephen Hopkins to create a visual language that would heighten the tension between predator and prey. A crucial part of this was the decision to shoot the predator's point of view, POV, in a way that mimicked the creature's heightened senses, using distorted and filtered camera effects to give the audience a sense of what the predator sees through its infrared vision. This technique not only set the predator apart from other creatures in cinema, but also gave the audience a sense of unease, as they never quite know when the predator will strike. The predator's vision is often juxtaposed with the human character's perspectives, which is shot in a more grounded, realistic style. This contrast amplifies the sense of vulnerability that the characters feel in the presence of such a dangerous and otherworldly creature. The use of infrared vision during hunting sequences creates a palpable sense of being watched, which only increases the viewer's anxiety as the predator closes in. The editing in Predator 2 was designed to keep the pace fast and unpredictable, but with moments of slow-building tension. In action sequences, rapid cuts and fast-paced editing create a sense of chaos and urgency. However, the film often slows down during moments of suspense, drawing out the tension as the predator observes its prey from the shadows. These slower moments give the audience time to feel the unease of being stalked, enhancing the feeling of dread as the predator's presence looms larger. One of the most effective editing techniques used in Predator 2 is the quick cuts between the predator's POV and the human characters, which keeps the audience guessing as to when the predator will strike next. By switching between perspectives, the filmmakers keep the audience on edge, unsure of what will happen next. This editing style plays into the film's theme of survival, as it mirrors the frantic, unpredictable nature of being hunted. The pacing of the film also serves the narrative's emotional beats. The relentless action is balanced with moments of introspection, such as when Lieutenant Harrigan reflects on his own sense of justice and his role in the city's violent cycle. These slower moments allow the audience to catch their breath before the next high-stakes encounter, creating a rhythm that drives the film forward while keeping the stakes high. 4. Box office production. The commercial success. From a box office standpoint, Predator 2 performed reasonably well, though it didn't quite achieve the same level of success as its predecessor. Released in November 1990, Predator 2 had the advantage of capitalizing on the growing popularity of the original Predator and the increasing interest in action films featuring alien creatures. The film had a budget of around $35 million and grossed just over $57 million worldwide. While this wasn't a blockbuster hit by Hollywood standards, it still demonstrated the film's ability to tap into the broader action and sci-fi market. The commercial success of Predator 2 was likely helped by the strong fan base built by the first film, and by the intriguing concept of shifting the predator's hunting grounds from the jungle to a densely populated urban environment. The idea of an alien creature stalking humans in the midst of a violent city captured the imagination of audiences and set the stage for the franchise's future expansions. Additionally, the film's strong lead performance by Danny Glover as Lieutenant Mike Harrigan provided a unique contrast to the action-packed spectacle, giving the film a sense of grounded realism that appealed to a wider audience. Despite mixed critical reviews, Predator 2 remains a cult classic, in part because of its inventive use of filmmaking techniques that shaped the overall atmosphere. The film's success at the box office proved that there was still an appetite for the Predator franchise, and it laid the groundwork for future films in the series, including the 2004 crossover Alien vs. Predator. In the years since, Predator 2 has been re-evaluated by critics and fans alike, with many recognizing its contribution to the larger Predator mythos and its innovative filmmaking techniques that helped to define the franchise. In conclusion, Predator 2 is a masterclass in filmmaking techniques that effectively created a tense, atmospheric experience for its audience. Through the use of sound, camera work, editing, and visual effects, the filmmakers crafted a film that not only succeeded in building suspense but also deepened the film's thematic exploration of violence, justice, and survival. Though its box office performance may not have matched its predecessor's success, the film's lasting impact can be attributed to its bold storytelling and innovative filmmaking techniques that have helped it remain a beloved cult classic. The cast of Predator 2, 1990, brought a distinctive energy and personality to the film, each actor contributing to the atmosphere of danger, intrigue, and survival that permeated the story. The film, set in a violent, gang-ridden Los Angeles, was an interesting departure from its jungle-based predecessor, and the actors had to bring a unique set of skills to their roles to convey the intensity of the urban setting. In addition to a standout performance by Danny Glover, the cast featured an ensemble of characters who helped bring the world of Predator 2 to life. Danny Glover as Lieutenant Mike Harrigan. Danny Glover, renowned for his roles in Lethal Weapon and The Color Purple, took on the role of Lieutenant Mike Harrigan, a tough, no-nonsense LAPD officer who becomes embroiled in a deadly game of cat and mouse with the alien Predator. Glover's portrayal of Harrigan was a departure from the typical action hero archetype. Instead of the usual brash, wisecracking hero, Glover brought a sense of moral complexity to his character. Lieutenant Harrigan was a man driven by a strong sense of justice, but he was also deeply affected by the violence surrounding him. Glover's performance resonated with audiences who appreciated the depth he brought to the character. In interviews, Glover shared that he was drawn to the role because of the complexity of his character. He appreciated the opportunity to portray a cop who wasn't simply the typical tough guy, but was someone dealing with the emotional toll of his environment. He explained that Harrigan was not just fighting the Predator. He was also fighting the system of violence that had overtaken the city. Glover's portrayal of a character who was both vulnerable and resilient added an emotional layer to Predator 2, making it more than just an action film. Glover's experience working on Predator 2 was also marked by the physical challenges of filming the action sequences. In several interviews, he expressed how grueling the process could be, especially during the intense scenes in which his character was physically pursued by the Predator. Despite the physical demands, Glover showed great admiration for the stunt team and the special effects crew who worked tirelessly to create the illusion of the Predator's fearsome capabilities. Gary Busey as Peter Keyes. Gary Busey, known for his eccentric performances and intense character portrayals, played Peter Keyes, a government agent who leads a covert team tasked with tracking down the Predator. Keyes is a man driven by his obsession with hunting the alien creature, and Busey's performance added a layer of unpredictability to the film. Busey's wild energy and larger-than-life persona made him a perfect fit for the role of Keyes, a man whose determination to capture the Predator borders on madness. In interviews, Busey revealed that he had a great time working on Predator 2, especially because of the intense action sequences and the opportunity to interact with the film's innovative special effects. He described his character as being someone who was willing to go to extreme lengths to capture the Predator, which mirrored Busey's own commitment to his roles. He also praised the film script, noting that it provided a unique opportunity to explore the concept of man versus alien in a high-stakes, intense environment. Busey's performance as Keyes was crucial in adding a sense of urgency to the film. His character's pursuit of the Predator became a driving force in the narrative, and his interactions with Glover's Harrigan helped to highlight the conflicting ideologies about justice, violence, and the nature of the Predator itself. Predator, Kevin Peter Hall. The Predator itself, an iconic figure in the franchise, was portrayed by Kevin Peter Hall, who had previously played the alien creature in the first Predator film. Hall's portrayal of the creature was unique in that he had to convey menace, power, and intelligence without uttering a single word. The physicality of playing the Predator was a significant challenge, as Hall had to navigate the creature's various suits, including the iconic cloaking device and helmet. Hall's ability to move fluidly in the Predator costume was instrumental in giving the creature its distinctive presence on screen.